All right, guys. So today we're taking a look at our guy Mizkif. Like I said, he's been going absolutely wild. As you can see here, he has literally dropped 4 videos about Tectone. Shout out to everybody popping in. He has dropped 4 videos on Tectone in literally the last 5 days. Like, this is at this point, this is becoming some type of obsession. But as you already know, I'm here for the drama. I hope y'all are too. Hey to everybody popping in. Hey, everybody popping in. But yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and have a look at this and see what he's been talking about. See what he's been talking about.
I was lying in bed,
So let's see what's going on here.
John, but he asked me to perform oral on him. I had recently gotten a lip injection procedure done and told him my lips hurt, and I didn't want to. He then pushed my head down onto his and didn't let go until I put my mouth around his and performed oral. My lips hurt significantly, and the filler migrated around my face because of this incident. All right, I'm going to preface that these things are allegedly, these are what she was accused of, a lot of it. This is also, I believe, the protective order. So we're gonna go through some of this stuff. Immediate order sought as shown by the detailed facts alleged in the affidavit attached to this application and incorrupted herein by this reference for all purposes. There is a clear and present danger of family violence, indecent and or stalking if a temporary ex parte protective order is not granted. Applicant therefore requests that the court immediately and without hearing issue a...
I'm sorry, y'all, but it's just so funny to me seeing like someone who's been accused of like all this stuff coming after somebody who's been accused of a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like one of those things where it's like, don't throw stones at a glass house. Like, I feel like this is what Mizkif's doing. Like, I don't know, maybe he really like feels like, cause you know, Mizkif, I'm pretty sure he's got a whole court case that I know he won the last one and now he's got like a new one and like new allegations and stuff like that. But correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm just like, are you sure you really want to be doing this? Cause people gonna start dipping more into your life and it hasn't been working out well to you. It worked out so well for you, you really pretty much left Twitch and had to go to Kick.
Temporary ex parte protection order prohibiting respondent from the following acts until a hearing can be held. After notice and hearing, applicant requests that the court enter a protective order effective for a period of time allowed under Texas Family Code section 85.025 and or Texas Code of Criminal Procedure chapter 7B007. So basically, chat, they're trying to get a protective order before the court even happens because they are afraid that Tectone is going to stalk and or continue to act in violence, indecent and or stalking. This is why Tectone didn't stream, by the way, chat. It's because this happened. This guy
also a lot of times too, like for sure, like definitely if Tectone's family feels that they're in any type of danger or anything like that, a protective order is definitely a good move. But you guys, you know, also too, a lot of times people use protective orders, you know, kind of in more of a political way when it comes to these legal cases. I know in a lot of like family court cases and things like that, if you know, if you can get one side to do something or agitate them or something like that and just get them, like, let's say you get a video of them, you know, saying they're going to hurt you or something like that, you can use that. And then once you get that protective order, you know, it gives you a lot of leverage for things like if there's a child, you can say, hey, well, I had to get this protective order on him 3 months ago. He's not safe. I don't want him around our child. And that's going to really help you in your court case. So
approved, and Tectone can't shut the fuck up about Pink Chew, so he stopped streaming, probably by his lawyers telling him, hey, you should shut the fuck up and stop streaming because you don't know how to stop. You have caused yourself so much fucking problems. The applicant further asked the court to suspend the respondent's license to carry a handgun issued to respondent under section 411.177 government code, prohibit the respondent from possessing a firearm, require respondent to transfer any firearms in his possession immediately to an appropriate law enforcement agency and order said agency to maintain the firearms in protective custody for the duration of the protective order. So that means that they are trying to get, and Pink Chew's lawyer is asking, Tectone is such a threat that not only do we seek that he has a restraining order, we want a protective order because we believe Tectone is a threat, and with him with a firearm that he might go after.
I gotta ask too, like, do you guys know what the difference is between a restraining order and a protective order? I'm gonna look that up really quick here. Difference between protective and restraining order. Okay, guys, so let me all right, so the difference between a protective order and Okay, so when the person is not a family member, generally just a restraining order is sufficient. But if the person is in your family, then you should file a family protective order. A restraining order can be requested without the other party being aware one is being sought. Okay, got you. Okay. Restraining orders. Okay, got you guys. You know what I'm saying? We about the facts over here, people.
Pink or any of Pink's friends or family. My name is blank, and I'm the resident of Williamson County. I'm over 18 years of age, of sound mind, and capable of making this declaration. This is going to be Pink Chew. The facts stated herein and are within my personal knowledge and are true and correct. I wish to file a protective order on behalf of myself. I wish to file this order against John Robertson, resident of blank, and respondent in this case. An incident occurred in blank county. The relationship between the respondent and myself is previously dated. We have lived together in the past from December 2022 to July 2024. We have 0 children from our relationship. Obviously not, because they never had. I have 0 children from a previous relationship. The respondent, John Robertson, committed the following acts constituting physical violence. Date of violence incident was May 28th or 29th, 2024. Location of incident, blank, Austin, Texas. Usually chat when someone or abuses someone, especially with girl would probably try to get out of the relationship as fast as possible, not continuously date them and want to marry them. Pink Chew did that by May 28th or 29th. This occurred, and then they broke up in July. So it was just a 3 or 4 month.
Yeah, I mean, since we're on the topic and everything, like male or female, if you're dealing with any type of, hands and feet being thrown, then you got to get up out of there. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people have that. I don't know what that syndrome is called or whatever, but we all got a little bit of it, where you're in a relationship or you like somebody so much or something like that. And there's things that you don't really like, but you may put up with it. You may kind of, let it go, toss it to the side. You may kind of, when people bring it up, you may minimalize it, and everything like that for that person. And, that's just because, we really want to picture, especially when you're in a relationship, you really want to picture that person as the person that you want to picture them as, not necessarily always who they actually are, And
then they finally broke up. She left him, by the way. Did you call the police? No, but I later reported this incident to the police on or around January 22nd, 2025. Were criminal charges filed? No. Was there a weapon involved? No. Were there children present? Not available. Did you require medical treatment? Yes. Doctor told me to get the filler dissolved. So she went to the doctor and told her that she has to get the filler dissolved. Had respondent been drinking or using? No, because he doesn't take his schizophrenia medication. Did I require medical treatment?
Jeez.
Yes. If he has prescribed, I had to go to the doctor to get the filler dissolved. Okay, so she required medical treatment.
This kid really hates Tectone.
2024, the location of incident was at this house. I was crying by the side of my bathtub, and John grabbed my head, shoved it towards his closed, and said that my crying turned him on. Did you call the police? No, but I later reported this incident to the police on or around January 22nd, 2025. So I would say the one thing that she definitely did wrong here is she should have went to the police sooner, but she did go at least to the police at one point. I do find it interesting when people say that someone's and they never go to the police, but she did go to the police around January 22nd, 2025.
Like I said, I gotta give these disclaimers, on this subject, like especially for the ladies, if you deal with that type of situation. I realize it can be difficult to go to the police and the authorities and everything like that. I understand. A lot of people think that's embarrassing. I would say you should never think that's embarrassing. You should never feel like any of that was your fault. But the main thing is you got to go to the authorities immediately. You got to go to the hospital. You got to go and get your tests and everything like that, because that's how we can actually make sure that these things don't happen to people in the future. If you're quiet about it, I understand that, you may not want to have your name out there. You may not want to have that stigma. I know there's a fear of a big stigma, and everything involved with that. But I think really the strong thing is to go and voice yourself, find the strength to find the voice to call that person out, really, so we can make sure that not only that the authorities deal with them in the way that they need to be dealt with, but also so there are no more victims, so this person can know, hey, like if I try to do this, there's going to actually be consequences for my actions.
So about 6 months later, it seems like, she went to the police. John told me he wanted to perform 8 oral on him. I had recently gotten a breast augmentation and was told by a doctor not to lay on my stomach while I was recovering. I told John that I didn't want to perform oral because of this. While I was sitting up, John pushed me onto his legs, so my back was on his legs, and pushed my head into his. This forced my mouth to make contact with his. He would not let go of my head until I complied, so I gave in to his demand until he was finished.
Okay.
He called the police.
Wait. Okay. Well, I'm trying to strangely visualize this. So I was sitting up. He pushed me onto his legs. So my back was on his legs. So if your back is on top of his legs, shouldn't your head be facing the ceiling? Right? Am I thinking too much into this? Well, this is a court case. It's very serious. All that maybe I'm not. But I'm trying to think, if somebody's back is on your legs, then that would be weird. I would feel like it would be the chest area would be on the legs, but I don't know.
No, but I later reported this incident to the police on around January 22nd, 2025. When I first moved in with John in December 2022, he told me that instead of paying rent, I'd have to perform oral on him whenever he wanted. I felt like I had no other option but to comply. Around February or March 2023, I told him I didn't want to live by this agreement anymore and told him I'd pay for his rent instead. However, after this, he found other ways to coerce me into performing oral on him when I didn't want to. For example, he would buy me of items or meals he bought for me and tell me that I owed it to him. If I didn't comply immediately,
Asking for like some throat because of a spicy Chick-fil-A sandwich and some fries is diabolical. I can tell y'all, like, my stomach kind of hurt right now. I had to, you know what I'm saying? I had to get it together, hop on stream real quick because I had some Dave's hot chicken. I had the extra hot and it was actually hot. You know, stuff normally don't be spicy nowadays, you know, but it was actually hot and it showed my stomach a lesson. You know, I'll tell you that.
Guilt tripped me until I complied. Throughout the time I lived with him, John would also record me when he wanted me to perform oral. There were multiple instances where he would record these moments without my consent. There were also at least 2 incidents where during oral, John pushed my head onto his hard without my consent and then caused me to throw up. These incidents happen so often that it becomes difficult for me to remember when each one occurred. After I moved out in July 2024, I made a post on X about my experience as a victim of coercion and did not identify a specific perpetrator. John then threatened to post revenge me if I didn't take down the post. This made me very afraid because I knew he had recorded me in the past. He also had consistently live streamed or posted rants online claiming I am attempting to ruin his public image. On or around January 15th, 2025, John made a post on X saying he would publicly post text conversations, videos, etc. between him and I online. I worked with an attorney to have John served with a cease and desist on or around January 24th, 2025. Despite this, John continued to make posts about me, X, and Twitch. He even posted a live stream on Twitch or on around about February 6th, where he called me a liar and threatened to sue me. I have not heard directly from John since November 22nd, 2024, but his frequent posts online insulting and threatening me have continued to persist to the present day. So basically, she didn't go to the police for about 8 months. She went to the police.
8 months is like, slick wild.
Whatever that means. She went to the police after 8 months, and then Tectone was, and then she made a tweet. Tectone started making threats online, which then she also at the same time around that time was getting a lawyer. So she got a lawyer to deal with this because she realized that this is not going to work. Keep in mind, chat, this is all from the plaintiff. This is not the defendant, which is Tectone. This is from the plaintiff, which is Pink Chew. So this is her claims and what happened. He even posted a live stream on Twitch on around February 6th where he called me a liar and threatened to sue me. I have not heard directly from John since November 22nd, 2024, but his frequent posts online insulting and threatening me have continued to the present day. This includes a comment where he made on a Twitch stream on May 12th, 2025, where he said he would go nuclear when the legal...
You know, I actually do believe that because that sounds like something exactly like a Twitch or a YouTube streamer would say. That's something like I say. I feel like a lot of us got this from like More Pegasus. I don't know if More Pegasus is the one that created that, like going nuclear. I know he's definitely got to be the one that's like now I feel like everybody, including me, be using it's diabolical. Like it's diabolical, calling everything diabolical, you know, and I feel like he kind of created that. Shout out to More Pegasus. He's real. He's a real one. He's a real one. You know, let me not go on a tangent about how I think More Pegasus is great.
He accused me of swatting him on around August 16th, 2025. It said the world will know what you've done. Late October, early November. That's when these instances have caused me significant mental and emotional harm, as he has a large following and I receive hateful comments and messages frequently from people who watch his content. Every day, I'm afraid John will act on his threats to post immediate videos or photos of me.
Also, too, I wonder, do you guys know if Tectone's girlfriend or Pink Chew or whatever, how big is she when it comes to like the streaming space and everything like that? Hey, shout out to Drea popping into the chat. I see you, girl. But you know what I mean? Like I wonder how big, because she may be able to, if she's interested in content creation. I'm sure she is, you know, dating Tectone and everything like that. I'm sure she's very out in the public and things like that. But, you know, she may be able to kind of use this. Tectone is a massive, like, he is a massive content creator, and I'm not necessarily saying, I guess maybe I am, but I'm not necessarily saying she should, take her pain and be able to get something out of it. I mean, but I kind of am, if she could win this court case, if Tectone did actually do these things alleged, then I hope he deals with the consequences of his actions. But for her too, as well, with Tectone being such a big streamer, she might want to get out, she might want to just not stay so silent. Maybe she's doing it for court. Maybe she's got her various reasons, but I think for sure it definitely, I would say it definitely could be a power move for her to kind of leverage that against Tectone. So not only can she do this, but now she could be able to like have a good way to sustain herself and everything like that. Tectone's got like 1 million followers or something. Like, he's actually a pretty big content creator. You can definitely leech his clout. And it's like, she doesn't like him. Apparently he's this terrible person and everything. Leech his clout, girl. Take his clout.
And
give me that. What does 6ix9ine say? I stole that. That's mine.
Things online about me. John knows.
Appreciate you for the roses. Appreciate you for the chili, hot chili.
My house unannounced, threaten or harm me. For my safety,
I'm gonna handle that for you later after this.
Was the respondent you? Yes. Had the respondent been drinking or using? No. Damn. So this is just the first of hundreds of documents, chat, just letting you know what's going on. She's claiming that
and why Mizkif saying no, damn, like he wish Tectone was drinking during this. I'm telling you, Mizkif is that guy that will go out of his way to make sure you fail. 4 videos in 5 days is wild. And also too, Mizkif is a large creator. I feel like he could just do his own thing. Like he could be playing a video game or something and get tons of views.
He's abusive, and that he would grab her and force her to suck his. And she had lip filler, and she has proof that she got her lip filler removed, and that was a time that happened. And then 8 months later, she went to the police, which I do feel the correct answer to allegations or in general is going to the police. I am someone that's much more.
Also, Dre, we're going to be covering DJ Act and Offset versus Finesse 2 times after this. If you want to tune in for that.
The police, that this is something that should not be aired out to the public. That this is something that you need to go, if it's a serious crime like. You need to go to the police. And
I agree.
The problem is a lot of girls don't want to go to the police because it's a he said, she said. They need proof, they need evidence, so they don't want to go.
Great.
I think that even just filing a police report really can go pretty far, and these girls don't do that, which always makes me believe that they're lying. Pikachu, not only did she go to the Travis County and issued a police report, she also went with proof that she got her lip filler removed and that Tectone did this. But this is all just the first part. This is all he said, she said. Who would have anything to do with a loser like Tectone? That's a good question. Like, I don't understand that. Like, forget all this stuff. He's ugly. Like, I just don't understand why Pink or any girl would go after Tectone. Like, he's not a good looking dude. I don't get it.
This is the biggest. Mizkif got to be the biggest hater of all time. I gotta see if Tectone is responding to this. And you guys know, maybe I'll check and see if he's got a response, and maybe we'll like cover that tonight, because you can't take this level. Like, you can't just take this level of disrespect. Like, me, I already know, like, somebody got, like, obviously, like, I'm not a large content creator, not yet. Catch me in about a year this time, guys. I'm gonna have a little following, you know what I mean? But somebody make 4 videos on me, you think I'm not gonna respond? The second I hear there's one video, I'm responding immediately. But that's also because I don't be doing a whole bunch of fugazi action. So I don't know, maybe Tectone did do a lot of this stuff and he's really having to defend himself in this court case and everything like that. And he's, maybe keeping quiet, one, because it's a court case and talking could hurt your chances in the court case, or 2, he actually did these things. So it's like going out and trying to defend yourself is only going to make you look worse when people look deeper into it and find out now you're lying.
He looks like he's the guy outside of a 7-Eleven near his high school talking about how good his high school was, and hoping that one of his old buddies shows up and shit and like sells alcohol to kids. I don't understand how anyone likes Tectone, and then he opens his mouth and it's the worst part. So basically what this means, chat, is that the judge found that the evidence to prove that Tectone was at least stalking, abusing, or whatever the fuck, or Pink Chew was enough and sufficient evidence that she was granted a protective order up until the court case. And he could not have a gun. He could not talk about her. So he went offline and basically didn't stream for like 9 months. It seems like because the court got pushed back 6 months, he didn't stream for 9 fucking months.
That's a long time. Also, it kind of makes you wonder how he's able to even like sustain himself with that, you know?